What is up, everybody? Today is June 24th, 2026. Today we're going to be covering the IAEA and their confirmation of the inspections happening with the Iranian nuclear deal and everything that's going on with that. We're also going to be covering the Nick Shirley Exposé in New York City a little bit into the episode, maybe 20, 30 minutes in. And again, we're going to be covering the oil markets. Oil fell below $70 today. So maybe this Iran war or this Iran peace deal is actually going good. Maybe this MOU, this memorandum of understanding, is actually working. Maybe all of this is actually successful, right? So that's kind of what we're looking at. Ultimately, I think we're in a pretty good place. So again, it's June 24th, 2026. We're going to be covering the Nick Shirley Exposé today, and we're also going to be covering the oil markets and everything that's new with that. And at the same time, we're going to be covering the IAEA and their confirmation of essentially the inspections happening with the Iranian nuclear deal. Because we've been hearing pretty much a mixed bag from President Trump, and all of this is pretty much kind of up in the air, right? We don't really know where things are going, but what we can do is analyze the information and the facts. So what do you guys think about everything? Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and support this stream. We want to bring you the news on war, information, politics, and again, propaganda, of course. We got to study all of the different ways of which they are trying to manipulate your thinking, all of these things. So again, let's study the news. We're going to analyze it, and we're going to find the truth and navigate the new world order. So again, let's get right into it. So again, this is kind of what we're looking at today. I know I had a crazy thumbnail. I just thought that would be kind of appealing. So this is what we're looking at. The Iran updates, nuclear site inspections will happen, but timing is not essential. And that's what's basically saying here. Again, they have a clip of it. I ended up posting on my YouTube shorts, but we really were able to cover a lot of what happened here yesterday. So again, what to know about the Iran war today. The head of the International Atomic Energy Agency said Wednesday that the UN agency will return to inspect Iran's nuclear sites as agreed, but he indicated there's no rush after conflicting messages from the Washington and Tehran. Israel's defense minister said Wednesday that there had been no American demand for Israel to withdraw from Lebanon. So Israel's, again, continuing to persist on the southern front of Lebanon, essentially the Golan Heights, and really they want to use this as a buffer zone, but ultimately, this is for that Greater Israel project. The Senate approved a House-passed resolution Tuesday that directs President Trump's remove United States armed force from hostilities against the Islamic Republic of Iran is a rare but likely symbolic rebuke of the president's war with Tehran. So again, here's a little clip encapsulating exactly what happened with the IAEA. This is one of the inspectors and pretty much everything that he had to say about this. So let's take a look at this clip. Again, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, support the information if you are looking for more news, because that's what we like to do, is provide you the info.
Fundamental thing I would like to remind you and draw your attention to is that there has been a memorandum of understanding signed by both presidents. This has been signed, has been agreed. Paragraph 8 of this memorandum of understanding says explicitly that the nuclear activities that are going to be carried out with regards to the nuclear material facilities and will be supervised by the IAEA.
Remember, they were saying that this was basically not happening. So they weren't saying that it wasn't happening, but it was unverified across several different reports, Reuters, AP, The Hill, all these different articles that covered the entire IAEA inspection statement from Trump. It appears that this is actually confirmed, according to this man, who is the chief, Rafael Grossi.
So we will be working on the modalities, dates, procedures, places very soon. The inspections will indeed take place. Of course, this will be done in collaboration and in cooperation with the government of Iran. I have no doubt that we are going to be able to do that.
So again, that's pretty big news for everything that we've been hearing in the media, right? So again, everything with the story, it's kind of been up in the air. We have been hearing a lot of mixed signals. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte defends Europe's posture towards Iran. Also some big news there. But again, when we look at all of this, it's crazy because meanwhile, during this entire MOU, this entire peace deal that we're seeing, we also have Israel who's pretty much, refusing to abide by it. And again, Netanyahu has been making statements over in Israel stating that I told Donald Trump that we would invade Iran, and he said that we could do it. and that we would do it, and America would support us. So basically, Netanyahu's over here bragging that they're calling the shots and that they are deciding the future of this war and what's likely going to happen. And again, the ceasefires are continuing to be violated by the Israelis. And again, this has to be documented because ChatGPT and Grok and a lot of these different articles and whatnot, mainstream media will frame it as if it is Israel defending themselves, when really this has been an advancement by the Israelis on southern Lebanese territory. And again, illegal occupation is happening right now before our eyes. Meanwhile, 2 killed in Israel in an Israeli strike in South Lebanon. Hezbollah denounces true violation. 2 people were killed in southern Lebanon on Wednesday in an Israeli drone strike that Hezbollah said was the latest breach of a ceasefire agreement between the 2 sides. An Israeli strike on a vehicle in southern Lebanon killed 2 people on Wednesday, June 24th, Lebanese state media reported, with militant group Hezbollah calling it another violation of a truce between the 2 sides. Hezbollah drew Lebanon into the Middle East war on March 2nd with rocket fire at Israel to avenge the killing of Iran's supreme leader in U.S.-Israeli strikes. Israel responded with airstrikes and ground offensive that Lebanon says have killed more than 4,100 people. Lebanon state-run news agency said that 2 people were killed when an Israeli drone targeted their vehicle near the town of Kfar Ruman. The Israeli military said earlier that it targeted 2 armed Hezbollah terrorists in the area of Ali al-Tarar Ridge near the city of Nabatea, who posed a threat. Vowing that it will continue to operate to remove immediate threats, it then said it also targeted a vehicle carrying suspects crossing the security zone in the Ali al-Tarar Ridge area, posing a threat to the Israeli soldiers. So again, we covered that story just 2 days ago. Hezbollah accused Israel of a new ceasefire violation on Wednesday after an Israeli drone strike killed 2 people in southern Lebanon a day after 2 people died in Israeli gunfire. For the second time in less than 48 hours, the Israeli army deliberately targeted Lebanese citizens who were inspecting their homes near the town of Kfar Ruman. The Iran-backed group said in a statement, Hezbollah said it reiterates that the enemy's actions constitute a blatant violation of the ceasefire to which it has adhered to thus far, and that it is monitoring and documented these violations. So again, during this entire MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding that Trump is trying to make happen, and who knows, I mean, the people around Trump, maybe not, right? The Lindsey Grahams, the Marco Rubios, they would like this war to continue. But ultimately, we are really seeing the Trump administration attempting to end this war. And the Israelis are taking any opportunity they can to basically drive forward in southern Lebanon. They've made it very clear, along with Netanyahu and Ben-Gvir, that they don't plan on ending the drive anytime soon here. So they do indeed want to take Lebanon. And that is happening. And they said they're going to use the Gaza model to do it. And then after Lebanon, they want to take Turkey. And so this is a big plan. And we also have the Syrian leader who wants to essentially be the Führer of this entire geographical area. So again, the Lebanese people are losing their sovereignty, while Hezbollah and then Syria and then Israel simultaneously are trying to fight for occupational territory over that land. And then the United States is just basically backing up everything Israel's doing. So that's really what's happening. And so when we look at all of this, that's kind of what we need to be paying attention to. So really interesting. And then again, we also had this report come out, indisputable evidence that Israel deliberately is targeting Palestinian children. So again, when we look at this is pretty crazy. It's pretty interesting to see how things are actually developing here. So again, let's look at this video. Take a look.
The Commission found indisputable evidence with regards to the deliberate, targeted killing of Palestinian children, including since the October 2025 ceasefire, the use of torture, inhumane and degrading treatment, including use of sexual and gender-based violence against Palestinian children, as well as targeting of critical infrastructure essential to children such as orphanages, healthcare, and educational facilities.
So again, this is coming from the UN.
There has been a widespread and systematic killing and harming of children between 7th October 2023 and 7th October 2025. We have witnessed more than 20,000 children who've been killed and more than 44,000 children who've been injured.
Sheesh.
Children constitute
Wow.
30% of all those killed in OPT. And the killing and injuring of children has been a continuing activity.
So again, this comes straight from the United Nations Human Health Council. So again, very, very dark stuff that we're seeing today, and it's honestly very sad, but ultimately we have to pay attention to all of these different things that are really going on. So when we see all of this, it's interesting to know that when we have all of these different wars happening simultaneously, it's really in a place where we don't really know what's going to happen next, right? So again, Trump warns that the U.S. will act if deal fails, as Tehran says it's proceeding with vigilance. So again, Trump jabs Starmer as gone, blasts European allies for letting America down in the Iran war. And then, so what to know? So President Trump said on Tuesday that Iran's economy had been severely damaged in the war while touting lower oil prices and increased exports through the Strait of Hormuz. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte on Tuesday defended Trump's military actions against Iran, warning that allowing the regime to obtain a nuclear weapon would have devastating consequences for the world. The Trump administration is keeping major U.S. military forces in the Middle East despite lifting its naval blockade of Iran and launching a 60-day negotiating period aimed at securing a long-term agreement with Iran. Lebanon's president, Joseph Aoun, thanked Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio in a phone call on Tuesday for the attention that the United States is showing towards Lebanon, aiming at ending the war there, according to the statement from his office. An Iranian lawmaker claimed that Pakistani Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif's reported interest in meeting Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei was part of a U.S.-Israeli plan to target the Iranian leader. Access to Iran's nuclear sites and materials struck by the United States will only be examined within the framework of that final deal, its deputy foreign minister said. Around 20 million barrels of oil has exited the Strait of Hormuz in the last 24 hours, according to the U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright. And again, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, praised the U.S. efforts of curbs Iran's nuclear ambitions, warning that Tehran was exporting chaos and terrorism. President Donald Trump said that the United States would revert to doing what we have to do if Tehran fails to meet these demands. So ultimately, when we're seeing all of this, again, what does it really say? Who knows? But it doesn't look like the Iran war is really going to end anytime soon. I hope it does, obviously. And I'm not trying to be any kind of warmonger. We have to stand up to Israel because one of the points of the MOU is that the Lebanon ceasefire would continue, and it's already been violated twice in 48 hours now. So as we're sitting here on June 24th on Wednesday, we're seeing that this entire MOU is pretty much already under collapse because of the Israelis who have been continuously violating the ceasefire. So again, this comes straight from the Institute of the Study of War and Critical Threats Project. Key takeaways: Iran is taking steps to establish a joint mechanism with Oman to try to exercise long-term authority over the Strait of Hormuz. Such a mechanism would enable Iran to regulate transit through the strait and decide to restrict passage to its discretion. Recent increased vessel through the strait does not eliminate the threats that Iranian control over the strait poses to the U.S. interests and global demands. The Iranian regime officials have continued to deny that the United States could control how the regime spends any funds it obtains from the U.S.-Iran Memorandum of Understanding. Any economic relief that the regime obtains could support Iranian efforts to reconstitute its military capabilities and its access of resistance. Iranian Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei Telegram channel reiterated the primary objectives that Iran seeks to the current conflict. These objectives include ending U.S. military operations against Iran, making the United States lift its naval blockade on Iranian ports, consolidating Iranian sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz, receiving U.S. compensation for the Iranian reconstruction, the lifting of all sanctions, and the resolution of nuclear issues, as well as the Iranian access to frozen assets. Recent Iranian reports suggest that the Major General Ali Abdoli may now serve as the Armed Forces General Staff, the AFGS, Deputy Chief, and Qatam ul-Anbiya, Central Headquarters Commander simultaneously. Iranian media reports identifying Abdali as the AFGS Deputy Chief following the unconfirmed reports of December 2025 that Iranian leaders were considering merging the AFGS and Qatam ul-Anbiya Central Headquarters. United States Central Command, CENTCOM, proposed deconfliction initiative in Lebanon would operate at disadvantage compared to Iran because the IRGC's on-the-ground presence in Lebanon likely enables Iran to identify and report alleged ceasefires violations to the newly established deconfliction cell faster than the United States. Israeli political leaders have expressed concern over the deconfliction cell due to Iran's role in the cell and Israel's exclusion from the mechanism. So again, when we really look at this entire war here, who knows if this MOU is going to succeed? I think if we were able to stand up to the state of Israel, I think that this would be highly beneficial. I think that this would actually really help. I think it would be a major progress point, and I think that we would be able to really succeed here. Again, why aren't we streaming on Kick? That's so annoying. As we look at this, I'm kind of just making sure everything's going here, but oh well. Looks like we're not streaming on Kick. We are streaming on Twitch, though. We are streaming on Twitch, though. Hold on, I'll mute this. One second. Just checking everything here. There we go. Just had to mute that. At least we're streaming on Twitch, so that's good. Kick is not giving us much of success right now, so interesting. Anyways, we'll go back to what we were doing here. So again, I wanted to look at the stock market real quick, and then we're going to be getting into the Nick Shirley video and reacting to all of that. And I really wanted to respond to Nick Shirley's investigation of New York City. This comes recently after the Mamdani candidates have basically struck a blow to the Israeli government, really, and a lot of their interest over New York City. And essentially, Mamdani's candidates are winning. And so it's really an unfortunate day in politics for the United States, especially, understanding 9/11 and how the Israelis and the Arabs had a lot to do with the collapse of the Twin Towers. So we're going to be getting into that and how Nick Shirley responded, and how basically a lot of fraud is happening at NYC and what he has been investigating on it. So before we get into that, though, I wanted to cover the markets. The Dow Jones 30 industrial average in the intraday is $51,848.90 today. So we're $182 up from yesterday, about 35% from yesterday. And then in the last week, essentially the stock market's gone down, it looks like, or actually it's gone up just a little bit here. So really we're looking at a lot of different inflection points of this entire stock market. But right now it looks like the stock market's not doing too shabby. At the same time, we also have the oil prices right now. We're, again, under $70. So WTI crude is at $69.98, while the Brent crude is at $73.74, and the Merben crude is at $66.45, while natural gas is at $3.22. So this tells us a lot. This tells us that, well, there must be some kind of positive movements happening with this entire Iran deal. Either A, that's the case, or B, we have a serious manipulation problem when it comes to Trump's statements. And maybe these statements that Trump is making is really just keeping the market at bay right now. So who knows when it comes to oil prices, but ultimately it does look like this entire Iran deal appears to be successful. And again, we have the confirmation that the IAEA is going to be inspecting Iran's nuclear program, and those things have been agreed to and signed by both presidents. So very important developments there, and just to know that all of these things are happening is rather reassuring, really, for the end of this war, and hopefully so the United States can get out of this entire unnecessary war. Meanwhile, in crypto, the fear and greed index is even worse than yesterday. So again, we have CoinMarketCap telling us today that Bitcoin's at $60,750. So look at the crash we had today in crypto. Bad day for crypto, right? Ethereum is down 7.44% in the last 7 days. Again, 3% in just the last 24 hours for Ethereum. $1,611.66 is the price of Ethereum right now. And then we also have XRP, which is at $1.06. And again, that's down 9.66% in the last 7 days. So XRP has been really taking a hit. But in my opinion, I think the prices are going to be low for not much longer, really. Again, who knows? You can't predict the markets, but people need to be really paying attention to where things are going with crypto. In my opinion, crypto has a massive future, massive upside, and there's nothing but potential. And if you look at the tokenized economy of the future, it's kind of inevitable. Right? And according to Larry Fink, he's agreed on the same thing. Solana's at $67.72. We have Hyperliquid at $63.21. So again, basically the entire market is completely down, and the fear and greed index is super low, way down at 18. But in my opinion, this is the time to buy crypto. This is the time to buy crypto at a discount, right? Buy low, you sell high, and that's kind of the rule of crypto and digital assets. So we'll see where this goes with the Clarity Act. That's kind of the next thing crypto's waiting on, and it was supposed to take place July 4th. Now they've kicked that down the road a little bit to either mid or late July, or it's going to be early August. And if it's not then it might not even be passed until like 2032, again, due to the Democrats and their kind of, they're not really big fans of crypto. So again, especially Elizabeth Warren. So we'll see what happens with crypto. We'll be following that over the next few weeks, and we'll see if anything develops or changes. Meanwhile, gold prices, we fell below $4,000 today on the gold prices. So look at that. That's crazy. So again, gold is at $3,999.39. So we fell about $132.03 from yesterday, about 3.2%. So, or 3.20%. So that's crazy. So when you look at that, that's just literally in the last day. And then silver's at $57.56. And so we're down 7.12% or 7.14% now, just in the last day. So gold and silver not doing so hot during this entire market. But again, it still is always a pretty good hedge for inflation. So with that being said, I wanted to get into this Nick Shirley expose of New York City inside the NYC dangerous fraudulent market confronted. So Nick Shirley is, if you didn't know Nick Shirley, he's an investigator, he's a YouTuber. He's basically been exposing a lot of the fraud happening nationwide. He exposed a lot of the fraud happening in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and again, then Los Angeles, California, and now this one is in New York City. And again, this comes just days after the Mamdani victory with his candidates basically taking over. Again, so let's take a look at what's happening in New York City and all of the fraud that's really taking place, because it's honestly crazy.
Everybody is entitled to live in this country, just like you.
Nobody's entitled to anything.
Like you.
You pay taxes here. Do you pay taxes here?
This entire corridor is full of people that do not pay taxes.
But this is not,
You stop selling drugs here, all right?
Who's selling drugs?
Yes or no, is this your rap sheet? Criminal sale of narcotics, possessing a controlled substance.
Welcome to Canal Street in New York City, an infamous location where you can buy counterfeit luxury items for cheap. And it used to be just a few sellers, primarily the Chinese from Chinatown, and it wasn't that big of a deal. However, now the entire area has been taken over by African men from West Africa who came here illegally from years prior and have flooded the streets.
Well, this is Mamdani's city. This is what happens when, again, you have this overtaking of the third world, basically controlling the entire future of our country. And again, now you see this happening, and now it's just riddled in fraud. And who's to blame? Well, it's not just the politicians, but you also have to blame. You also have to blame, again, who and which religion are these politicians, and why are they doing this? Well, a lot of this has to do with the clergy plan and the Great Replacement. So let's keep going.
And break the law each and every single day as they defraud the American tax system and make it unsafe for women.
You're gonna get in trouble.
I'm gonna get in trouble?
Yeah.
And now locals have to avoid the area as these men
horrible.
flood these streets, and they are making tens of thousands of dollars completely tax-free. How much money does somebody make here on Canal Street selling fake Gucci?
I sell in 2 months. I make 20,000.
And as America's biggest city has become lawless, I have a history with these illegal vendors, as they once jumped my cameraman and I. They then got deported allegedly, and now are back on the streets committing the same crimes. And in a country where fraud is rampant and politicians keep wasting our tax dollars, it's only fair we confront and expose those that defraud the system. Welcome to the largest public counterfeit market in America. Things get dicey really quick. Here we go.
The relaxing
And an
pheromones
ad.
of Feel Away Optimum help your cat
Why do
feel
I
more
get cat
comfortable and
ads all
secure
the
at
time?
home.
This right here is the grand finale of the Canal Street battle that has been going on for months at this point. We have even tracked down to the locations where they are now storing all of their counterfeit goods. I have a history with these guys. Last summer, I filmed a video exposing the fraud and the tens of thousands of dollars that these people make each and every single week, completely tax-free, defrauding Americans as they do not pay any tax on the money they're making. So you have ideas such as taxing the rich here or adding more tax for New York City. Meanwhile, they're letting other people that aren't even legal citizens of the United States make tens of thousands of dollars each and every single week and completely tax-free.
This is an invasion of your country. This is what it looks like when your country is being invaded.
So today, this is the grand finale We have Sweeney with us here, and we are going to the Canal Street Run Club today to see what is happening. Hoodies are available in the link down below. So quite literally on each and every single block, they got all their goods right here. And as soon as you leave the Canal Street station, you have people selling all these goods right here. Another person on this block, another lady right here. You come out of the subway and they're right here. So you have them right here, another one right here, another one.
Hold on. Screen froze here, of course, because technology is just so awesome. There we go. Now we're good. That's so annoying.
One right here. Oh, what do we got? AP?
No, no selling, no selling.
No selling? Why not? How much are you guys buying for?
We're not buying, we're just looking for this woman.
Just looking?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Wow, it is a busy day today.
It's packed.
It is a packed day. More right here.
Yo!
How are you doing?
God, what's going on, dude?
Good, good. What do you think about all the counterfeit selling going down here?
It's kind of crazy, man. It's kind of crazy.
Do you think these people should be able to sell these counterfeit goods out here?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's kind of... I see both sides of it because I've heard people talk about how like these people make a living doing it.
These people aren't paying taxes.
No, that is messed up too. Because I mean, I lose 45% of my income to taxes right now. So yeah, I mean, it is pretty crazy, man. It should be definitely should be.
Of this guy's income is going to taxes. 45%. That's absolutely insane.
Regulation to it. I hear like the old governor tried to stop it and stuff, but then it just started. Once he was out of office, I hear it just started firing back up, and they stopped regulating it and everything. And
this is a guy who actually pays his taxes. This is a guy who actually follows the law and is an American who abides by the laws of the United States. And then you have these people over here standing behind him who probably come from Sudan or some completely different country here illegally living in the United States. And they will admit it here soon when you continue watching this. Just check this out.
Yeah, just a vicious cycle, man. I just feel like it makes the area just kind of trashy too. It just kind of brings down the area. Like you can't move without people trying to stop you. You know, it just kind of like makes it hard to enjoy your day. You know, go about your time and have a nice time here.
All the sellers have seen that we're here, and as soon as they see the camera, they turn their heads. Look at this. Look at all these goods. Wow, we got lots of stuff here today, huh? Louis. Showcase it all.
All of this
AirPods.
stuff's probably stolen.
How much? How much?
They get it from the riots.
We're celebrating America's 250th anniversary at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. We've got unbeatable deals on Patreon.
They're getting this from the riots.
Look, as soon as they see the camera, they start putting tablecloths over their faces. This is to a whole new level. I've never seen it with this many people.
It's block after block. It used to be a small little section, and if you guys can see here, this goes almost a mile, maybe 2 miles sometimes, left and right, northwest, east, south. And the city council recently released a report that if these areas were being taxed, New York City would have $1 billion back in its pockets. And you wonder why we have a budget deficit. It's because open air criminality like this and fraud happening on American streets is not penalized. And it's not the cops' fault. The cops have arrested some of these people 15, some of them 19 times. It's the politicians' fault. They will not pass legislation that criminalizes this behavior.
We have some more
100%.
over here, some more right here, another man right here. What are we selling? How much?
What's that?
Why? What's wrong with us videotaping? Yes,
aren't these just such friendly people? All of these loving immigrants, aren't they just so friendly to us Americans who actually pay our taxes and are here legally? They don't care about you. You know, we are told every day that, oh, we need to be welcoming to the third world and to the all of the other cultures, when it's like they are not welcoming to us.
Keep running.
Yes, of course.
How would you feel if I take a camera and a video and go to North Carolina or South Carolina and those redneck cities and show what you do there?
Go for it.
No, how would you feel?
I feel just fine. I'm not doing anything illegal,
ma'am. I'm trying to tell you.
Ma'am, how would you feel?
What I'm trying to tell you.
Every single one of your dollars that you make, 40% goes back to the government, and other people
They're always so rude.
What I'm trying to tell you is 8 billion people in this world.
Yep.
Whether you're white or black or Asian or Chinese, whatever you can be, we have to respect one another.
Amen.
And she's here sticking her finger in his face, telling him this while she's disrespecting him at this current time.
That's what this is. What is America is about? It's not taking your video and looking for people that don't look like you and try to put them
This has
down.
nothing to do with
Ma'am, I
This
respect
is
you
what you did.
being
How
black
many
and me being
times
white.
you did this? You did this over and over and over
Keep
again.
on doing it until
You
it's
go-
gone. We want to do this until it's gone. It's got nothing to do with race.
Until you gone.
Why would I be gone? I'm a
Why
taxpayer
would
here.
anything else would be gone?
Because
Who
this
told
is-
you nobody else
it-
is paying tax here? Because you take your camera, you're walking around.
Yes, ma'am. I'll
And
answer your
you
question
think that you are entitled to it.
You are. This is public property. You're entitled to film, and
so
just
is
like you can film me right
everybody
now.
else.
Of course, they are entitled to film me. If you want to film me right now, you can.
You're not listening to what
I'm
I'm
listening
trying
and
to say.
responding to what you're saying.
No.
And again, these people would never understand the concept of the freedom of speech and our Constitution because they don't care about the Constitution. And it's so clear in the way, in her tone of voice, and her lack of education and knowledge to our Constitution and our freedom of speech, the freedom of press. And again, the ability to, yes, record people in public. That's absolutely a right in this country. And the reason that these people don't want to be recorded isn't because they don't want to be on camera for no reason. It's because they're committing crimes. And they know that they are all guilty of this fraud. And soon enough, they are going to be exposed for everything.
I'm
You're
listening.
not.
I'm listening.
There you go.
Type it in for me? Yeah, I'm listening.
Now listen.
I'm listening, ma'am. What's your name?
What's your name?
It doesn't matter. My name
name's
don't
Nick
matter.
Shirley.
You came to my place.
This is your place?
So now
My place. They call it my place when she's not even from here. She was never born in America, you can tell. And again, these people were never even, they have no real citizenship, no lawful citizenship in America.
I'm talking to you.
It's his place
It
as
is
well.
your place.
He pays taxes here. Do you pay taxes here?
What?
And sticks her tongue out. What is the behavior?
Why should I answer you?
He asked
I
me.
just
I
asked you.
answered.
Do you pay
too.
taxes here?
I pay
What
taxes
give
here.
No.
You pay taxes here?
No. What give you the right to just walk to me and ask me if I pay taxes?
You came to me.
What give you the right to ask me if I pay taxes? What give you the right to ask me if I pay taxes in New York City? You know record me. You cannot record me. And it's well, actually, we can. This is America. You actually have a freedom of speech and press and religion and all of these things. And it's just no. You don't ask me about fraud. They always act this way. And it's why is that?
Let me do what they want. Let
Maybe
me
it's
do.
because they're really committing a serious crime of fraud.
This is what they
Let
want.
me do.
Respectfully, we're just having a civil conversation. If you disagree, that we're happy to
I
disagree.
didn't disagree or anything.
Of
I
course.
just think that y'all are enticing.
Yeah, I know. Would I
came
take
to
my
us.
camera?
I've heard it multiple times. so
Would I
think
take
y'all
my
are-
camera and walk up to you
When she approached us, and we're answering questions she might have.
Yeah, because you've been here million times.
Baby, I wouldn't give them.
I will give them the energy because they.
Ma'am,
we
so for
have
every
Ma'am,
dollar
ma'am,
we
so
make.
what is your name?
Talk to each other.
My name is Sweeney. It's very
My
nice to
name
meet
is
you.
Awa. It's nice to meet you.
My name is Awa.
We have been here.
I'm
This is our
trying to
third
tell
time being
Awa.
here.
Yeah, she was really born in America. My name is Awa.
Yes, I'm listening.
I'm trying to tell you
Yes.
that the right you have and how you feel is so is everybody else. We didn't came to a word. We didn't get to a point where I am entitled to walk up to this lady and tell her, do you pay taxes in America?
Well,
Do you?
Can I-
Do you
can I
pay?
respond
Can
to
you
that?
leave in America? Do I need a permission
didn't
to
ask
leave? Do I have to answer you a question?
Can I-
Who are you?
Can I respond
Why
to that?
would I
For
answer
instance,
you want
do
to
you
have
pay
a
taxes here in
conversation or do you
America?
just
So
wanna-
again, this lady walked up to them. This Awa lady, Awa, she walked up to Nick Shirley and this man, of her own accord, of her own will. This was her decision. And then now she's complaining that, you're not allowed to record us.
Look, I will answer you.
Why
And would you have a problem with somebody asking you if you pay taxes?
Okay, I can respond to you.
I really wouldn't.
If you weren't doing anything illegal, you wouldn't be offended,
I wouldn't
right?
have no problem with it whatsoever.
The city council for two.
Yeah,
That's why they have a problem, because they're doing stuff illegal here.
exactly.
What do you think about all the counterfeit selling that takes place here?
This is ridiculous. I think it's insane. Garbage, pollution, just mass
And do you
consumerism.
Do you live here?
I do. I'm from Queens.
And how do you feel as far as the safety of Canal, this area?
No, I think it's overly congested. I think there's a lot of shady things going on, and I understand people want to get things for a cheaper price, but this has to be regulated somehow. It's not fair to pedestrians.
The lady then came
it is
back
not.
and tried to make this a race issue.
Definitely
when in
not.
reality, this has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with what's right and what's wrong. What's
Where
wrong with
the
us being
people
here?
that don't look like you?
It's
Do
not.
you know about the
because
First
of
Amendment?
race.
It's all-
Stop making it race. That's racially
It is
divisive.
race.
No, it's not.
It is.
If you show me a bunch of white folks
If
committing
you-
fraud
if
in the
your
street,
video-
I'll come right back.
If all
Unfortunately, I don't see them.
if all your videos you ever made that you took the video in a camera and walk around North Carolina where they make
Where?
that
What? Where?
where they
Show
make
me.
that fake wine and ask them if they pay.
See, like, she's insulting North Carolina. She's insulting America. Like, these people hate us. They fucking hate us. Excuse my language, but these immigrants do not want you in their vicinity. And again, at the end of the day, they really believe that this is their vicinity. They believe that America is their country, even though they came here by the basically cheap labor of these entire corporations and these politicians who are bringing in these third worlders, and they have no concept or understanding of the United States Constitution and our laws, and then they are committing fraud. And that is the problem here. And that is what Nick Shirley's trying to say. This is not about race. This is about what is right and wrong. But these people don't know the difference between right and wrong.
In
That
Texas,
could be his
show
next
me
video.
one of those
That-
videos.
great. If you showed
me.
us where, that'll
you
be
will
his next
never
video.
because you feel like they are entitled to be in this country.
That's
well,
incorrect.
guess what? So is everybody else. We can be here
Not true.
anytime,
That you're not just entitled to live in somebody else's country. Actually, there are laws. There are immigration laws. You do have to live here legally. We do have laws on immigration and legal immigration. And these immigrants are not living here legally. She just admitted that she's not paying any taxes. She also admitted that she's not even from America. So it's like, but she believes she's entitled to come here. And it's like, that is so not true. Okay?
Spoke to
Show
another.
These people
Donald
just
Trump
not understanding
that we
that.
don't need to
Do you know-
apologize to be in America. Thank you.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do, because you're defrauding the actual people who have lived here our entire lives and actually pay our taxes so that you can live here for free, enjoying the benefits. It's not going to happen much longer. These people need to understand that their days are numbered living in the United States illegally, again, against the immigration laws of the United States. These people really need to understand their place and exactly just who gave them their freedom.
Unless you're breaking the law. Unless you're breaking the law. No one has to apologize for being America, but if you're breaking the law, there's a little bit of apologies that are owned. I'm not saying she is at all. I'm saying
Then
this
she comes
entire
back.
photo.
Cameras.
No, he's not. This is public property.
You should do this
is
in
public
North
property.
Carolina.
This
Do
is a
this in
public
North
street.
Carolina.
This is a public street.
Do it.
This
Do
is
this in North Carolina. Do this in North Carolina.
Do it in
Taxpayer
South
property.
Carolina, North Carolina, where the white people are,
Taxpayer
and ask them if they are paying taxes. You would never do that.
They are paying taxes, though. They are. Some of the highest tax rates. Literally, they are paying taxes.
Not yours.
How is he breaking the law?
Everybody,
What law
This
is he
is
breaking?
public property.
everybody pay taxes. Everybody.
What law is
I
he
don't
breaking?
Not
try to-
true.
Laws are
What law
breaking.
is
It's a
he
public
breaking?
street.
Answer the question.
Filming the people that didn't consent to it.
That's
You don't have to
illegal.
consent
Yes, it
to
is.
it.
You're wrong
Yes, you
again.
do.
There's
You don't-
cameras all
Yes,
over the
you
street
do.
that you don't consent to.
Yes, you have
Do you
to.
consent to these?
Everybody
Do you
is
consent to the
entitled of
cameras
living
up
in
here?
America.
Do you
Just
consent
like
to
you.
cameras up here?
Just like you. Everybody is entitled to live in this country. Just like you.
Nobody's
Not true.
entitled to anything.
Like you.
You're not entitled
Just
to
like
anything.
you.
You're not entitled
Everybody
to live
else.
here.
Why not? You came from Europe to here.
No, I didn't.
You came from Europe, didn't you? Well, actually, lady, the United States of America was founded by Europeans. America is a European country. Our founding fathers literally put it in the Constitution that this country would be a country of white men of good stock. Even though these things have changed, and even though the Jews did, start the slave trade, and they brought over all of the Africans from Africa specifically for the slave trade, this was the Jews who brought them over here. You have to understand that America is a European white country, and it started off that way, and it should stay that way because that is our that is our basic identity. If you were to go over to Africa and say the same thing to them, I'm entitled to live in your country, I'm a European, they would say, they'd basically just kill you. They wouldn't even have the conversation because that's not legal there. South Africa, look at the leader of South Africa right now. What was he just saying? Kill the white man, kill the Boer, kill the white man, kill the Boer. And there was an entire protest against the white South Africans, which is why we have all these white South Africans coming into the United States today. Okay, and same thing with Europe happening. So again, you have native Europeans who lived there their entire lives for thousands of years. Their ancestors lived here. My ancestors came to the United States before the founding of this country. And again, from Scotland, from Ireland, and then on my dad's side, from Scandinavia, from Sweden and Finland, and then Germany. So it's just like, no. This is America. This is a European country. That's different. When European people come over to the United States, again, this is conquered land. You could call it that, sure. But that's absolutely what happened. And not only did we just conquer it, we actually made something good out of this land. We made a great country that allows for these third world immigrants to even come in here and to live here for free. And what do they do? How do they respect us? Not at all. They yell in your face. They tell you can't record them, and basically always have this aloof, just hateful attitude towards white people today. And they want you to believe that it's the other way around, like there is a white supremacy problem and there's white privilege, and none of these things exist, okay? This is just not true. And then so you have this lady saying, well, you came here from Europe. Well, it's like, yeah, my ancestors did come here from Europe. Not only were they, again, they weren't fleeing from a war necessarily. One, they were fleeing from tyranny, you could argue that. But again, my ancestors came here because they were explorers. They were navigators. And so it's like, hey, listen, lady, learn your history books and read a little bit about the American founding instead of just coming over here trying to enjoy free benefits that the American taxpayers have to pay for.
Yes, you did.
Really? What country did I come from?
Maybe Poland?
Nope.
Maybe France?
Nope.
Maybe Italy?
Born in America?
Nope. We feel like living here just like you.
Were you born here?
If he didn't come,
Don't
his
racial
mother
profile.
or father or grandfather or great-grandfather came.
Are you racially
Guess what?
profiling me?
My racially people build this country.
Are you racial?
Okay, but again, now she's saying that my people built this country. She's referring to slavery. It's like, actually, again, that's not true. It was the Europeans who invented 97% of the world's inventions, and everything you see in America today, pretty much everything, was created by white Europeans. All of the architecture in Europe and the United States created by white Europeans. So no, what she's saying is not true. The Africans did not build America, and to the extent that they were slaves, they were enslaved by 70% of those slave owners. 70% of slave owners were Jewish. That's a fact. And you can find that in the Jewish Encyclopedia if you'd like to cite me. So this woman is absolutely wrong and does not know her history. She's going off of CNN talking points and the fake mainstream media, which is basically trying to create this entire race war between the people and trying to make all of these other immigrants believe that the white man is bad, when it was actually the white men who literally abolished slavery in America. It was the white men. It was Abraham Lincoln. And again, so when you talk about the abolition of slavery, and then you also talk about the founding of slavery, two different people when it comes to this. The Jews started slavery. The Jews brought slavery over to the United States, and they were at the head of the entire slave trade. And again, so 70% of slave owners were Jews. And so Europeans, again, we built this country. This country was built by Americans, ultimately, mainly, 97% of it. Okay, so no, and again, if you want to talk about slavery, guess what? Every single race on Earth were slaves. Everybody was slaves. The Irish were slaves when they were building the coal mines. Again, you had literally the Europeans that were enslaved by the Ottoman Empire. You have slavery everywhere. The English were the ones basically, picking the cotton in England. Okay, so the English built England. It was, again, Americans or native Europeans who sailed the Atlantic, crossed the Atlantic, built the ships with our own hands, and navigated the Atlantic with our own compasses that we created in order to build more land and to create everything that these Africans and third world immigrants are literally enjoying today.
Actually, people build this country.
So did ours.
Yeah.
And we feel the same, just like you. We are entitled of living here.
Of course.
Please, and thank you.
Let's just rewind that. Like, look at how crazy she is.
This
woman
Are
is
you
insane.
racially profiling me?
Look at her
My
face.
racially people build this country.
Are you racially profiling
With
me?
her eyes
People
pop
build this
out of her
country.
So
head.
did ours.
Yeah.
So did ours.
And we feel the same, just like you. We are entitled of.
And I lost my spot. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. So again,
living here.
You look at this, it's just like absolute just arrogance and disrespect to Americans. Right to their face.
Or father or grandfather or great-grandfather came.
Are you racially
Guess what?
profiling me?
My racially people build this country.
Are you racially profiling me?
Racially people build this country.
So did ours.
Yeah.
So did ours.
And we feel the same, just like you. We are entitled of living here.
Look at that. Like, look at the anger, you know? Then you have this guy in the background just watching. And look at his face. His face encapsulates almost every American today. Like, you believe these people? Do you believe these people? Like, seriously.
Of course.
Please,
all citizens are entitled to live here. You're right. All citizens are entitled to live
If you
here.
did it legally.
Of course, if you did it legally.
Yeah, but they're doing it illegally. That's why
Of
they're
course they are,
upset.
but they feel as though they're entitled to break the law. If I went to France or I went to whatever country and I broke the law and I tried to say, I'm entitled to break the law, they throw my ass in jail.
This lady's saying that we don't have the right to film here.
Yeah.
How come you think she's saying that?
So, like, my opinion is that, like, a lot of these people, they come from countries that are completely different to what you and I believe, right? And, for example, the reason I go to Japan is for Japanese people. The reason that I go to China is to see Chinese people. And a lot of these people, like I said, we've proven time and time again that they're not compatible with the West. And we've seen certain ways how they act, how they believe, how they talk to us, how they treat the streets. And like I said, this woman screaming about not filming, she's bringing basically her beliefs from her country to here. She's not listening to what we do, but as you know, if it's the opposite, if we went to their country and did what they're doing, we both know what would happen. The same thing, I saw your documentary with Somalia. I can't imagine what would happen if we went to Somalia and said some of the stuff that they say to us. We wouldn't last a day. And
Perfectly
obviously,
said. Couldn't have said it better myself.
you know that, your viewers know it. It's absolutely, this is the way it is.
At the end of the day, would you be offended if someone asked you if you pay taxes here?
Absolutely not, because that's the reality, right? Like, if you're, listen, one of my favorite quotes is, if you stand for everything, you stand for nothing. And that's what a lot of these people, bro, like the way they act, you can see day to day the way they treat our streets, the way they treat the people here, the way they treat like our environment, throwing trash, throwing rubbish, because that's like the reason they fled their societies, their countries, is the same like why are they coming here then? They're trying to bring their beliefs, their imposed beliefs from their past, that obviously their countries are destroyed for a reason, and they come here, they think, okay, let's add those beliefs onto here, and it's gonna be the same exact thing, you know?
And because of the lawlessness that takes place here on Canal, you may think that these areas are not that expensive or this is not prime real estate, but if you pull up a map, the cheapest piece of real estate you're gonna find here is $2.45 million, and it's gonna range all the way from $11.5 million to $34.9 million for an apartment here inside of this area. And this is what the surrounding walls look like here inside of the alleyways of Canal Street. And really quick, before we go back onto the main Canal Street, I want to tell you about the sponsor of this video, that is Opus Clip. What used to just be an AI clipper has now become the most powerful AI growth tool for all creators. For me, for instance, it helped me gain over 70 million views this past month.
Not a fan of Opus Clip. I used it and they didn't refill my credits. I like Opus Clip. It does a great job making clips. The problem is, if you don't renew the subscription, or when you renew the subscription, it doesn't refill your credits.
Alone on one single
Even
Facebook
when I
page.
emailed them, they didn't.
What I do is I upload my YouTube video into Opus, it goes through and selects a bunch of clips from that video, and then I select bulk schedule, and I go ahead and schedule all my videos out to go on my Facebook pages, YouTube Shorts, TikTok pages, Instagram as well. And like I said, it helped me get 70 million views, and it's
yeah, but it doesn't refill your credits, Nick. It doesn't.
Effortless.
Tell them the
truth.
truth.
That's how simple Opus Clip is. For you guys watching this video, they're gonna hook you guys up with a sweet deal. You'll get 4 months at 50% off. I promise you guys, Opus is a game changer, and it helps you save so much time and money, actually.
No, it doesn't.
So go ahead and use Opus Clip. You can use
Opus Clip is a great video editing software until you need to refill the credits and the tokens, and then it doesn't refill them for you. And then even when you email them, they don't even email you back, and nothing happens. And then you basically wasting your money. So again, you only get like 1 month of it before they fail to refill your clips, or you have to create a whole new account under a different email. That's kind of my take from using Opus Clips. That's my honest take on it. Great video editing software. It works. The AI works. It creates at least 30 different shorts out of like a whole hour-and-a-half stream that I do. But the problem is they don't refill your tokens. So that's my issue with Opus Clip.
So the ranch is about.
All right, so we've cleared out some of the section here on Canal. They have left these windows right here. They're not here on the corner, but if you just keep going down a little bit more, they're still going. Right now they're packing up. They are packing up right now. What's up?
Yeah, hiding their face.
Look, it's like they're trying to run from the cameras or something.
We're not worried about the camera, man. We're not worried, man.
Oh, you're not worried about it?
Can we ask you some questions? What?
So
Can we ask you
rude.
some
I'm not
questions?
answering any question.
We're not worried about the camera, man. We ain't worried about the camera, man. It's like, okay, back off and enough with the attitude. Like, seriously, these people are just absolutely insufferable. Like, they have total disrespect towards actual America and all of our rights and everything that we actually stand for. Just absolute aloof, cocky attitudes.
All right, we're happy to talk to anyone. We're happy to talk to anyone.
Dude, if these guys weren't, if they didn't have a camera on them, these guys would get violent. I can tell you that right now, and we could probably guess that just from the videos we see on X. Honest to God.
We don't got any problem talking to anyone.
We're not worried about the camera, man.
You're not worried about the camera? He seemed pretty worried about the camera.
Maybe him, though.
Yeah, maybe him.
I'm not worried.
That's what's up. This is McDonald's. Right outside of McDonald's here, you can come get all the Gucci. Now this just goes on for blocks upon blocks. You want the fake AirPod Maxes, want the Louis Vuitton glasses. You can get everything you want here. What can we buy today? Anything?
Yeah, hide your face.
Not
Hide
today.
your face, you coward.
They're saying nothing.
You know that you're
Look
committing
about
a crime.
all this
You know
stuff.
you're committing fraud.
How's it going?
I'm doing fantastic.
Doing
I
fantastic.
watch you all the time, my friend.
That's what's up.
Hey, I am good for you. Good for you. You keep going. You keep going.
Thank you.
keep doing. You keep getting the good word out. Expose the fraudsters.
Are you buying stuff out here in Canal?
No.
No.
Nah. Buying real American products.
There you go. And what do you think about all these fraudsters?
Yeah. Honestly, that's money. It's money lost. You know, if my mom
What's up?
lots of stuff.
See, look, they freak out when you pull a camera on them. What do you think about Mondami, for instance, wanting to raise tax on rich white people here,
Well,
or rich people?
Let's
He's
rewind.
losing all his money
Look at
right
all
here.
the people who are actually
This is
buying
money.
this
This is
stuff.
money gone. Going. You keep.
This is the problem with America. Look at all of the people who are actually buying this stuff. All of this stuff that's being sold on the streets, completely fraud. Watch all the people who are actually
You
buying.
keep doing. You keep getting the good
There's
word out.
actually
Expose the fraud.
white people, Americans buying this stolen goods, probably. Unreal. Check this out. Look at this.
Are you buying stuff out here in Canal?
No.
No.
Nah. Buying real American products.
There you go. And what do you think about all these fraudsters?
Look in the background.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Honestly, that's money. It's money lost. You know, if my mom
What's up?
lots of stuff.
See, look, they freak out when you pull a camera on them. What do you think about Mondami, for instance, wanting to raise tax on rich white people here,
Well,
or rich people?
He's
And
losing all his money right here. This is money gone. If you want to take
Look at
care of
this. People are actually buying all of these stolen goods.
New Yorkers,
Most likely stolen goods. Like, where are they even getting that? You can see all the people in the background, and they're actually buying this stuff. And so you wonder, it's like, how can we really save our country when we have our own people actually, you know, buying into this fraud? And they're buying it. They're literally buying fraudulent, stolen goods, probably.
you know, there's money gone right here. Gotta take care of it.
And why do you think right now they're trying to tax the rich, for instance, here in New York City? Meanwhile, they're letting all this illegal activity take place.
Well, I mean, did you see what Hochul said? She's like, oh, they're not true New York.
Look at this. Look at it in the background. Again, sorry to interrupt again, but look at this. The way that they keep the city looking. Like, just complete trash. He's got stuff hanging over his freaking vacuum cleaner or whatever this is supposed to be.
They're gone. I moved to
Unreal.
Florida, you know, and I love it in Florida. It's absolutely fantastic because I don't pay any state tax. And my house insurance, house taxes, a lot lower.
W
So
Florida.
why would I want to pay a lot of the money that I work extraordinarily hard for to a city that just, you know, throws it all away? I don't understand that anymore. Doesn't make sense. You know, I don't care if you're left, right, center, whatever you are, you know, just do the right thing.
And this is not the right thing.
And then you have people actually buying this crap. Again, more white people actually buying all of this totally fraudulent stuff.
This is not the right thing. This is not the right thing.
Right here, you have the National Guard coming through, and you have all these people doing illegal activity. Let's see if these guys will fear the National Guard. I wish they would walk through there, because they wouldn't do anything. So you legit have National Guard walking right here, but the fraudsters don't even care. The National Guard don't even walk on the sidewalk. They just walk on the street because it's a lot faster.
Now we're walking past Canal and we're going north on Broadway. Don't tell me it's always been like this. If you turn around the camera real quick just to show while I'm talking, it goes block after block after block, and it is because of open border policies, objectively. And I'll give you one example. I know there's all this controversy around ICE. ICE came here and put out a van for one day, okay? This place was clear. Women could walk through without being harassed and catcalled. There was no one selling drugs. There was no crime. In one day, and then there was the reverberating protest against that. Why would you protest clean streets and New York tax dollars going to things that we desperately need? I will never understand that. It's absurd. And either that day or the day after, they arrested, I think, like 9 or 10 people. And if you look at the track records of the people that they arrested, almost all of them had a track record of either violence or drug dealing. And these are the people that you're protesting and wanting back out in these streets. It's completely un-American, no matter your skin color. It has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with tax fraud and the safety of American streets.
Look at the congestion all this
100%.
counterfeit goods selling causes.
It's insane. And right now, this is the middle of the day on a Friday, right? It's almost an entire zip code. And the amount of people that send me, women included, small business owners included, that tell me they have to travel blocks around this area just to get in the subway because of this stuff. No taxpayer. We all work very hard. We're up early in the morning. We go to bed late at night, working our asses off. We should not live in a city. There should not be a single inch of any city in the United States where taxpayers can't walk. They pay for those streets with their taxes.
Look at all that cash. What's wrong with us filming this?
These people who
Criminals.
sell to, like, to put it into some perspective of just tax dollars, make something like $3,000 to $5,000 a day. Do the math. That's one of them. Think about the breadth of that racket
disgusting.
here in New York City.
When I first exposed this fraud, a lot of people were upset that I exposed this fraud. Just listen to this lady.
My husband showed me a clip of that kid, Nick Shirley, going around Canal Street antagonizing the men who are trying to just, like, you know, sell us some
Why is it always white liberal women who are defending this nonsense? Like, it is always white liberal women who are the ones defending total fraud, total invasion, total third world migration, illegal migration, and again, fraud. And they're just the first ones to defend them every time. Talk about the brainwashing. This is years and years and decades of psychological, ideological subversion.
there. Wow. And you guys think I need to get a life? What a fucking loser. That's all.
That's you, lady. You're totally a product of psychological brainwashing by the CIA.
However,
and
this is how
Mossad.
women really feel who live in Canal Street, and I've seen the degrade for years.
So you're a native New Yorker here. A lot of people are saying this is an issue, but would you say this has just gotten worse over the years?
That isn't an issue? They're saying it isn't.
Yes.
Come on. They're lying. Or they're blind. I don't know what.
And you as a local New Yorker,
they're
how have you
stupid.
seen this area change over the past few years?
You can't walk. I mean, if you actually want to get somewhere, you can't walk through that. I mean, there's always been people that sell on the street. That's fine, but this is like insanity and very aggressive. And it's just bad. You don't even feel safe walking through that. And I don't really scare easily.
And do you know any of these people? Did you know any of them before this?
No, this is all descended on very quickly.
A lot of people find it fun to come here for tourism purposes because they can go and buy that fake Chanel, the fake Louis Vuitton bag.
Yeah, that's always been. It's usually the Chinese that were selling them.
So it used to be the Chinese, and now you have people from Senegal, Mauritania, Africa here.
Yeah.
They were not here before.
No.
And have any of them ever said anything to you as a woman? Or
Yeah, it's gross, you know?
what do they say?
I don't really want to repeat it.
Really, it was that bad?
Yeah.
And how come you don't think anybody steps up and does anything about Canal Street?
Because they just want these citizens that live around here to just protect these people and try to make it seem like we're doing a bad thing by trying to keep these people off the streets.
And do you think there'd be any issue with NYPD actually arresting these people?
Yeah, they should stay in jail rather than just coming out the next day.
What do you think about the catch and release last year?
Horrible. They should be in jail for a certain amount of time depending on like what crime they did, not just getting out the next day.
Because if you arrest one of these men, they will then just come out here the next day.
Exactly, literally the next day. We'll be right back out here selling.
Nick Shirley, you're awesome.
Thank you.
From Minnesota.
Oh,
Love
amazing.
What you're doing. Love what you're doing.
Have a good one. So much respect from the people on the street, but the scammers, the fraudsters, they don't like me, obviously. So here on Canal Street, you have where they sell counterfeit goods, where they sell Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Chanel, and then you have the spot where they sell illegal substances, graffiti, and a lot of these businesses are now for lease here on the street. Look, they just got
So sad.
bags full of weed.
Wow. Disgusting.
Look at that. All buckets full.
Now this is an area where me and my cameraman got jumped by a...
This is totally unacceptable to American society. This is totally wrong. And again, look at this dude over here. But it's just like, this is the look they all have, by the way. All of these, again, these immigrants or these people who are just committing fraud in the streets of New York City or Los Angeles or Minneapolis, always these Somalians, it seems. What are they doing? Or people from Sudan or basically Africa. And again, they were given here on a free ticket by politicians who are corrupt, and they want these people over here basically for free votes. And that's what this is all about, because they know that these people know that they're not going to have to pay any taxes. They're not going to have to essentially, do anything. So they come here, and there's no crime, or I'm sorry, there's no law enforcement. Nothing happens to them. So, of course, they come here. They flock here. No justice, no law and order. So what happens? You have the worst of the planet coming over to our cities and destroying them with fraud and completely destroying the social aspect of the American society. And these people really feel like they have some kind of, entitlement to be here. And again, this is the perfect picture because this is the look they always have.
Mob of these fraudsters
Violent.
who are not from America. They jumped me and my cameraman after we had filmed them doing a drug deal on the street, and then to my surprise I see the man once again here on Canal Street after he had already been arrested by the feds.
Wait, why is it? It's like, I'm not even trying to stereotype. It's like every single time you see one of these individuals, they are constantly violent, constantly unwilling to assimilate, constantly have this anger towards white people specifically. And then when white people say anything about it, oh, we're the racists. No. It's the other way around, clearly.
Wait, no way. That guy got arrested by ICE and now he's back. I remember you. How was the federal judge? So you got arrested by ICE and now you're back.
Yes, because you know why?
Why?
I'm a businessman and I have my own family. I have 7 kids in America, and you taking a recording at me for illegal.
Because you're doing stuff illegal?
No, you doing an illegal thing, posting at my picture online and my video.
Again, here is them again taking their rules from their country, the things that they are not allowed to do in their homeland, which is where they should be right now, and they are bringing it over here telling us that we don't have the right to record them. We don't have the right. And so what happens? These people get let out on the streets. Again, he was already basically arrested by a federal judge and then basically released and back onto the streets now and to commit more fraud. And he says, oh, I have a business. Well, what's your business? Is it an LLC? Is it actually registered with the state of New York? And if it is, again, I'm curious to know, where does the money go? And again, where do you actually make the money? Do you have a list of your clientele? Really? Do you? No, I bet you don't, buddy.
To make money. That's what you're doing. That's how you live in your life.
You're filming me right now.
Yes, because that's...
Yeah, and there it is with the pointing the finger. They're always pointing their finger in our faces, telling us how to be Americans and telling us what we can and can't do. It's like, get out of our country. Like, get out of America. You are not here legally. You might have 7 kids. Well, they can all go back to Africa with you, respectfully. And I'm not a racist, but it's like, this kind of anti-Americanism, these people who are just so entitled to live here when they have no business being here. They're here illegally, and they need to be sent back home.
I'm not posting you online, but you're posting me online to make money. That's how you live in your life. I don't live my life like that.
This is called journalism. We're showing people what's going on.
I have a restaurant, and I do business. I sell food all day. Me and my wife is a family business.
And why do you sell weed here on the streets of New York then?
Who you got over there selling weed?
Look at all these guys.
Weed is legal.
No, you can't sell it in buckets full here on the streets of New York City.
But who's selling? Why I sell food, I say.
You sell drugs as well, remember?
What are you talking
about? Last time I was here,
before
you got almost deported?
So right now,
you fool me.
Yo, yeah. Right now, listen, man, look, my guy. No, bro. And no violence. Okay?
Look at this. Now they're surrounding Nick and these people, just all hiding their faces. Total criminals, total thugs.
No violence, we talking, okay?
You guys aren't gonna jump me today.
So I'm saying, you recording a family man, hardworking man with 7 kids, 7 U.S. citizens, and you posting my face online, so people watching your video, my videos, my face off of your videos, and they're making money off of that. You making money off of my face. But why are you doing that? I have 7 kids, and they're going to school. Yeah, bro. My kids going to school, and
why
then
can't I videotape you on the
Yeah,
street?
they're going to school because American taxpayers, of which you don't probably pay taxes, buddy, are paying for you to live here illegally.
Do you know what the First
But
Amendment
you're
is?
posting it online. You're not supposed to do that.
Why?
That's illegal. That's
You're not supposed to sell substances illegally on the streets of New York City.
What's your name?
Say it again. My name is Mohammed. My name is Mohammed.
So
Mohammed.
you're not supposed to sell stuff illegally here on the streets of
But
New
what
York.
are you talking about?
You
Sir?
realize?
Let's go to my restaurant. You want to walk to my restaurant?
You walk to your restaurant?
Yes. You want to walk there?
Yeah, let's go there.
It's 89 Canal Street. Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
D Salam.
Okay, then why do you guys sell drugs here illegally on the streets as well?
Who's these guys? That's not my business.
You sold buckets of weed the last time I was out here.
That's me.
You were selling. You were right behind the bucket of weed.
I was purchasing my smoke. I can't have my smoke. If I want to use the cannabis, I can use it.
Go ask any of these guys.
So why are you using my image? My question is, why are you using my image to make money? I have 7 children. Why are you doing
It's
that?
journalism.
Why are you
idiot.
using
We
my
can film
image?
here on the streets of New York
No,
City.
I'm a hardworking
If you're
man.
out
I don't
here,
deserve that.
just like how you're filming me, I can film you.
No, but you posting it online to make money, bro.
What's wrong with that?
You can do that.
You
It's the
can't
First
do that.
Amendment. Yes,
Yes,
you
it
can.
is.
You can.
Yes, you can. It's
You're
public
violating the civil rights, bro.
No, that's not your civil rights.
Yes.
Civil rights.
It's not.
Yes.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not. You can film
You cannot put a family man, hardworking man.
Oh my God, it's just like we are living in hell. We are living in hell. Like we truly are. I don't care what anybody says. It's a fact. This is hell. Like, this is totally not normal. This is not right. Anybody who says this is normal has been completely brainwashed, and they need to be sent back to a different country with these people. Wherever they come from, they can go with them. Honestly, but this needs to end. These are the lowest IQ and probably worst people of their country who are being shipped out from their country to here because of, you know, mayors like Mamdani and these politicians who are not from America, and they want to basically take over with their religion, their culture, their way of life, and to destroy the American fabric of society, which is law and order, freedom of speech, our Constitution, of which these people do not care about.
I make money off of it. And I have children. You have children?
It's working
for me. How old are you?
I do not have
how old are
children,
you?
But I'm trying to answer your questions. Okay.
So now he's working. Now he's working
for me. No, I'm working for him.
Jerusalem. You guys
He doesn't speak English. Why are you recording us and putting us online, bro?
I can film.
This is taking tax dollars out of New York City taxpayers' pockets.
What's taking tax dollars?
This entire corridor is full of people that do not pay taxes.
But this is not my business. I have no responsibility.
Okay, so what is your business? What do you do here? Then why do you care if he's filming you?
Food.
Okay, then why do you care if he's filming you?
No, he's posting my shit online.
Why do you care? If you're not breaking the law, what does it matter if he's filming you?
So you're in defense of these individuals here.
So do.
These guys are selling stuff illegally. They're selling weed out here, buckets full of weed.
Yeah.
Knock the hustle.
Yeah.
Leave them alone. Like,
my point
they're doing
is,
that
my
thing.
point is,
You'll shut down the block. I was just about to tell this dude.
Yo,
Down the whole fucking block.
Thank you. And so this guy's saying he runs restaurants. Thank you very much. He's getting mad at me for filming. Look, he's getting mad at me for filming him, but he's saying he doesn't do anything illegal.
He's good in our city. He's good in every city.
I'm saying, he's posting my face online.
Sure.
Why he's doing that?
I can take a photo right now. Who is it different? Who's different?
4 million.
Why is it any
He's
different?
making 4 million views on my shit.
You want $1?
And I have children.
You want $1?
And they go to school. When they go to school, they say,
I got like 50 kids. I got 50 kids and 50 wives. I got 50. Dude, no one cares about what you said.
Brother, you get a job. All I'm saying is, dude, trying to get a job. Do something better in your life.
This is my job.
This is not a job, dude.
You get a job because what are the odds I find you here on this block 2 times?
Dude, this is not a job.
What's wrong?
You're good, no good. This is not
you get a job, you guys get a job.
I don't have any problem with y'all filming us.
You can film me all you want.
You can film me all day.
For me.
Total fuss.
We can film all you want.
This is not a job. Yo, film me for me.
Problem is, I don't got any problem with it.
What's wrong? Why are you so upset?
Film me all day. Tag me, mention me.
This is what happens when there is illegal immigration. This is what happens when you do not have closed borders.
Go do something better in your life, bro.
Then what? Clear our streets? There's nothing better he could be doing with his life.
This is a lot of people. It's almost 100 people here, bro.
What does that matter? They should. If you're breaking the law, you should not be here. That's what you don't understand.
Dude, you trying to just You trying to just take things to a different level. And
You're
it's not.
telling me these people don't break the law.
This is New York City.
What's your point? So should we allow theft and robbery and assault to happen because it's New York?
Don't force accusation. This is a false accusation.
I've never made a single accusation against you.
He did.
No, what he did was he came with a camera on a public street and he filmed a public street. He's a taxpayer.
But he's making a false accusation.
No, he didn't. He made a video. He made a video. He made a video.
Did you guys
He
not?
just said I was selling weed.
It's like we shouldn't have to explain our way of life to these people who have no concept of reality or America.
Something else. You walking around with the camera accusing people, bro. That's not good, bro. Do something better in your life.
So what are all these individuals doing out here?
Listen, do something better in your life.
He's doing God's work. He's a patriot. There's nothing better he can be doing with his life.
There's a lot of good stuff out there to do in your life than what you're doing right now.
What would you like me to do?
Let me tell you something.
Work on you have no degrees? You went to school? Have you got
I do
educated?
have a degree, actually.
Yeah, so what you use your degrees for?
I show people what's happening here inside the world.
What do you do? What's your degrees?
He's a journalist.
He's not a journalist. He's not a certified journalist.
Well, you don't need a
when?
certification to be a journalist. You need a camera and some balls.
Oh
That's
my
it.
goodness.
These are the same people who are saying, "Are you a doctor? Are you a doctor? Then you're not allowed to talk about COVID."
Drugs.
Listen,
You stop selling drugs here, all right?
We respect
Who's
people.
selling drugs?
Oh yeah, look at all this stuff. Look at if I looked over that bag.
So whose shit is that?
What's the grinder
He's right
for?
there, right there.
Right there.
And who do you hang out with?
Who?
Who do you hang out with? And who are you hanging out with?
What do you
All
mean
these
who I hang
individuals.
out with?
Look, you are
I
who
told
you hang
you
out
I
with.
deliver food.
You are not
You
delivering
got food, yeah, fool me. I'm a hustler, fool me.
Okay, good. I don't understand you.
No hustler.
Listen,
I'm a restaurant. I'm a restaurant.
Your restaurant's not here.
Brother, I'm a
There's no
restaurant.
restaurant right there.
Oh, another restaurant owner. Okay.
People are waiting for you.
Brother,
Go to your restaurant.
it's my brother. Fool me, I'm a hustler, fool me.
Like, again, this is the fabric of America today. This is what happens when illegal immigration infects any kind of first world nation. Again, if you flood a first world nation with third world immigrants, then the country is going to become a third world country.
Listen, I'm not angry at you. I respect you as a human. I respect all humans.
You guys did it last time because they jumped me and my cameraman.
Whoever jumped you, I never touched you. I never did touch you. If I touch you, you know you're gonna be break, man. You know, I'm not gonna fight you. I don't fight. I'm not a violent person. You understand me? We don't do violence.
Beg to differ, but
okay? We don't do no violence.
Honestly, these sound like the people I deal with on a daily basis in law enforcement.
The street?
Chill this camera. What do you mean you're surprised I'm back on the street?
Well, because ICE detained you, but apparently you have the right to be here. So great for that. I'm happy you're here. And now I just asked for you to not be selling drugs here on the streets of New York City.
Nobody is selling drugs here. Don't make up. It's a makeup thing, bro.
Then what
don't
was that
lie.
bucket of weed
Look, these
when I
people
approached
do,
you last
you see
time?
this what they do, the vending. This is what we do here.
No,
listen
sir.
to me. Listen to me.
Yes.
You listening to me, or are you
I'm
listening to me?
I have video
Everybody
footage of
over here
buckets
trying to
of weed.
survive. Listen. Everybody just trying to survive.
Same.
That's what they do over there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Is your name Mamadou Ndoye?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes or no, is this your rap sheet? You said that you don't sell drugs. I'm asking you, I'm not making any statements right here. Recklessly endangering, these are previously arrested crimes, counterfeiting third degree, unauthorized use of... Who's talking to you, dog? Back off. Everything's my business. Unauthorized use of motor vehicle, criminal sale of narcotics, possessing a controlled substance, possession of marijuana for sale, making false reports to law enforcement, and resisting arrest.
here.
Okay, but I'm asking you, is this not you? And is that not your rap sheet?
No, that's not me.
So,
mine's right
okay,
there.
that's not
Yeah.
you.
So this is different people in there.
Okay, well, keep going.
So what do you
Is
do?
that I just asked you.
You guys have nothing better to do. You went to sit over here.
So you just look, let me just look at the rap sheet.
Of course. Where?
I'm asking you if this is your picture and this is your rap sheet. That's a question.
That's from Homeland Security right
Dog,
there.
that is a rap sheet longer than track me. And you're saying you're here not breaking any laws?
How long have you been in America?
I'm asking you. This is a question, then you answer that part.
Over here, bro. What are you talking about?
Is this your track record?
No, that's not
Okay,
mine. No.
interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. So this is all false.
what's your name,
The
then?
Department of Homeland
No.
Security
Okay,
is making
so
false
what's your
statements.
name?
Interesting.
My name's Nick Shirley. What's your name?
My name is Spec Mohammed. Mamadou. Yeah.
So that's not. Can you film that? That's not your track sheet.
No.
That's not your rap sheet. This is false.
No.
Then we'll serve a correction,
bro.
right?
No,
We'll send the Department of Homeland Security.
no.
If this is false,
No.
we'll figure it out. None of that.
Yeah.
That's not you.
Yeah.
All right.
not here.
Interesting. Interesting.
Hold
That's
up,
not
hold
your
up,
rap
Yeah,
hold
sheet.
he's
up.
scared
hold
now.
up. Muhammad. So you're trying to say this is not you?
No touching him for you.
You're trying to say that is not you, Muhammad?
Yeah, now he's walking away.
That's
Look
not
at
your. That's not you. This is him right here, Muhammad. So this is not a bucket of weed right here that you're standing next to, selling here on the streets of New York City.
Yo, boy, I knocked the shit out of him last time.
Yeah, you did. That was you. And now you guys are back here selling stuff illegally.
Thugs. You hear that? He says, I'll knock the shit out of you next, or I knocked the shit out of you last time. Yeah, this is the violence of these people. This is what's happening. You're bringing in people from a completely different country, and you have white liberal women and white liberals who are literally defending their stay here when this is how they think of you. This is how they treat you.
Look at this. The feds aren't even doing their job.
You gonna stop shit?
The feds aren't even doing their job. They arrested you guys, now you guys are right back here.
Yeah, right back.
They hate this country. They literally hate this country. Take a good look at this man. These are people who do not respect America. They do not respect our Constitution. They hate us.
Stuff illegally, huh? How do you contribute to society here, huh? This guy jumped me last time.
Fake Louis Vuitton bag.
Doing stuff illegally once again. They don't see any problem with that. How do you contribute to society here in the United States? You work hard, pay your taxes?
Yeah, I do. Get sent to other countries.
And then these guys right here selling stuff illegally. He once jumped my own cameraman, and now he got arrested. Now he's back here on the streets of New York City doing it once again. Never got arrested. So they just put you in jail and release you the next day? Yep, that's crazy. Look at that. Wild stuff, man. New York City streets really are just lawless. Those are the guys that were arrested by ICE, and now they're back here on the streets. Either the feds are making stuff up, or they're not doing their job. And the NYPD obviously is not doing their job because their track records are right there.
Well, my thing is this person, right, say he was let out. What my question was to him, and it's not a statement, is I just read off the Department of Homeland Security, his rap sheet, right? So let's say he was let out and there was a legal basis for him being let out. Okay, that doesn't change the fact that he has a rap sheet longer than a track meet and is a categorically dangerous person. I'm sorry, if you sell drugs and you resist arrest and the whole litany of charges, provided those are true, I don't know, I'm reading it off the Department of Homeland Security, you should not be, and no one should be happy that that person is let back out on these streets.
100%.
And if you zoom out, which no one tends to do here in this crazy city, they're realizing that resisting me and you is encouraging criminality here. It's absolutely insane. People like that should not be out on the streets. In fact,
common sense.
If you break the laws here, and I'm just saying if, you should be deported. That is not a race-based issue. If you're from Ireland, if you're from Serbia, if you're from Italy, just like if I went to one of your countries and I broke the law, get my out of there, and I can't come back. That's not a radical opinion. That's not a Republican talking point. That is rationality and common sense, and I'm sick of anyone telling me differently.
Now, all these fraudsters have to store their counterfeit goods somewhere, so after much investigation and help from locals, we found the location where all the fraudsters hide and store all of their counterfeit goods.
So this is allegedly where they're storing all the counterfeit goods here.
Yeah, so during the day, they're out there selling, but afterwards, they bring all of their carts, and maybe 100 of them come right here to Manhattan Mini Storage, what you could find online, and they bring all of their carts of counterfeits and illegal contraband, and they rent out these units to store them here. So the question really becomes is like,
this is true.
Why do these businesses contribute to this illegality?
Yeah.
And to plead ignorance is absurd. You've got 30 or 40 people here sometimes with all their carts and wares, and it's obvious with a fake Louis. You can't just turn a blind eye to something like that.
Yes.
This is the extension of that criminal enterprise. Here we are, it's 260 Spring Street. It is called Manhattan Mini Storage. And allegedly, right, let's use that qualification, this is where all the scammers on Canal Street come in the mornings and the evenings to store all of their wares, okay? And one of the things that bothers me so much is you've got receptionists here, you've got employees here. If you are going to see huge bubbles of 40, 50, 60 people coming with carts on a timely basis every morning and every evening, and there's blankets covering the contraband, and you don't want to raise a question at all, you are absolutely complicit in this. You can't 100%. Just plead negligence, okay? What if there were dead bodies in that? What if that was fentanyl? To suggest that you just have no idea what's going on when there's these huge congregations of people coming directly from Canal Street is absurd, and no American with brain activity would believe that.
But also, why would you stop it if you're making all the money from it?
Exactly. I mean, that goes into
corruption.
It, right? It's
this is the spots, and this is all the money. Why would you stop it if they're making a lot of money from it?
That's exactly. How many people benefit from this, right? right? It's how many people are out there every single day, how many storage units are there. It just goes on and on and on. And if anyone wants to do this yourself, right? If you have a camera and a little bit of gumption and you want to stop New Yorkers from being robbed, come here in the early morning hours and come here in the evening, and you will see just enormous crowds of illegal contraband, just stealing tax dollars from us, coming right here.
So there you have it. They bring all their stuff here into this storage unit, and now the battle on Canal continues as the feds didn't even do their job of arresting and deporting the violent illegal migrants.
It's just the American.
Well, again, the feds aren't allowed to. The feds aren't allowed to enforce the law. It's against the law for the federal government to enforce the law in New York State.
We live in, but we do not have to live like this.
Facts.
And that is the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out.
We need the Crusades again. So again, that was Nick Shirley inside NYC Dangerous Fraudulent Market Confronted. So again, 25,000 likes, already got 270,000 views. And honestly, this is what happens when, again, we let our country get overtaken by third world immigrants. When we let our country get overtaken by fraud and corruption and politicians who enable this and allow these people to come in here because they are benefiting. The politicians are benefiting from this. They're the ones making the money. And then who else makes the money? As you can see, it is the same immigrants who are coming to our country illegally, just soaking off of the U.S. tax dollars. So again, go back and watch this episode. Again, that you're going to see everything about NYC and how dangerous this actually is, how this fraud goes to the maximum levels of just absolute illegality, and why these people are just like completely hateful towards America. They hate this country, truly. And it's unreal, and we need to stop it. And again, if we don't, we will lose our country. We'll lose everything that our founding fathers fought for, your ancestors who for thousands of years and then came over here from Europe probably and or wherever, and legally, they came over here legally. We're losing our sovereignty. We're losing our country and everything that this is all about. So again, watch this entire stream through again. Again, YouTube kind of puts us on the burner there, and we get a little bit censored here and there. So again, go back and watch this episode, because this is truly what's happening everywhere, not just in America. It's happening in the UK. It's happening in Germany. It's happening in Ireland right now. And it is because the politicians are making the money. So we need to fight back, or we will lose our country. We will lose our sovereignty. We will lose everything great about our country. You will have no more law and order, as you could see in this entire episode. So again, we need to be more like Denmark. Again, this is what Denmark did. Denmark's immigration minister, Morten Bodskov, has announced plans to ban the Islamic call to prayer. The call to prayer should not be heard over the Danish rooftops, he said. It has no place in Denmark, and you shouldn't be in any doubt whether you've ended up in a suburb of Islamabad when you walk around Denmark. Yeah, I mean, this is common sense. Like, they're completely different people than us. And, you know, it's not like I'm a racist here. I'm not. I believe everybody has human rights. But again, you cannot come to the United States or Europe illegally. And just because politicians say you can, just don't think that you're going to be able to get a free ride here for long. And I think there needs to be a real revolution and a fight against this. I think there needs to be a real movement to protect, again, everything that we used to have in our country, where you could go anywhere in New York City and you could feel safe, where you could go anywhere in, again, any of these cities, and you would actually see a place where you can, you know, take your children and you can actually enjoy something. You know, now it's like you have to, you know, look over your shoulder like we're a third world country. That's what we're becoming, because we are importing these people into our country. And so to the extent that these politicians are allowing this to happen, one, they're getting free votes for it. And two, again, your tax dollars are paying for their stay here. So as much as you have people defending this, and you have the white liberals, hate to say it, but it's true, the white liberals are the ones defending all of this. They're defending this entire country, and again, Europe and the entire continent of Europe being overtaken by these third worlders who hate us. They hate our countries. They hate our history. They call us, you know, conquerors and all this stuff, which is not wrong, but still, it's like the way we conquer is different. We build once we conquer. When we conquer, we actually build. We actually innovate. We created 97% of the world inventions as Europeans, Americans, and white people in general. And this is not a white supremacy thing, but this is about, you know, restoring what is actually correct when it comes to peace, law and order, tranquility, justice, and liberty. There cannot be this world that we live in where, you know, these things are accepted. So again, that was Nick Shirley. Go back, watch this episode, like, share, comment, subscribe. Really I'd appreciate it. And again, so at the same time, We also have Ryan Matta who put this out. I wanted to play this before we wrap up this episode. Israel was planning on having Mossad assassinate one of the Iranian generals of the peace negotiations in Switzerland, Pakistan, and received a tip that this was going to happen, and they called Israel and told them straight up, if you so much as lay a finger on one of our delegates, we are going to wipe you off the map. This is what peace through strength really looks like. So again, this is a clip from Ryan Matta. He now lives in El Salvador, but he does some pretty decent independent journalism.
Was planning to assassinate one of the Iranian generals that was part of the peace negotiations. And we think it was in Saudi Arabia or Europe or Switzerland. Switzerland, I think it was. So Pakistan gets word of this in the wire. They hear that the word is out, the hit is out. Pakistan picks up the phone, calls Israel and says, listen, if you so much as lay a finger on one of our delegates, let me just be very clear on this. We will wipe you off the map. Wipe you off the map. And that's Pakistan. Now Iran is communicating with Pakistan saying, hey, what we need to do is we need to put together a Muslim version of NATO to protect ourselves. We need to put Pakistan at the head of it, nuclear-armed Pakistan at the head of the defense of this ally, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Let's put a complete permanent end to what's going on in Israel. Let's get a Muslim alliance going. Let's take back the fucking world. So then you have Ergun, one of these Israeli leaders, in some type of parliament chamber, holding a conference, basically laying it out, saying, listen, there will never be peace unless it is achieved with Israel. Israel's sole mission is to wreak havoc and sow chaos, division, create terrorists, and displaced nations. That's Israel's sole purpose. Israel is responsible for all of the migration. Israel is responsible. I mean, think about that.
And I am thinking about it because when you look at what's happening, again, you can blame the Muslims and all of these different people. And again, everything we saw in the NYC Nick Shirley Exposé there, everything you saw in that video, just remember who is letting them in. Okay, because if we had real law and order, and if we had a real criminal justice system that enforced the law, and again, federal agencies who were allowed to force the law without basically being threatened of losing their jobs because they're doing their jobs, you know, you would have a safer country. Okay, so again, we all talk about how, you know, the Muslims are coming over, they're taking over, which they are intent on doing that. That's absolutely a part of their objectives. That is a part of their goals. They are trying to do that. But at the same time, we also have a situation where, yes, if you look at the highest realms of power, yes, they are Jews, and they admit it. Again, you look at Jonathan Greenblatt. He has admitted that it is Jews who are basically controlling a lot of the migration that's happening. They admit this. This is not Brendan Ecker, you know, anti-Semite. I'm not an anti-Semite. I'm a Christian. I'm a Catholic. I love Jesus Christ, and I love all people. I love humanity. I want humanity to be able to thrive and be independent. Okay, ultimately, that is my objective. That is what I care about. But it is important to state the facts, okay? Look at our government today. And whether you like it or not, whether you disagree with me or not, Eric Trump himself literally said 80% of the Trump administration is Jewish. Okay, you have Mark Levin, Randy Fine, who want to silence anybody who criticizes the state of Israel. And again, at the same time, you have these same people who, you know, maybe Randy Fine doesn't want to bring in Muslims, but at the same time, you also have different sects of Judaism. By the way, you have more of your Dadi Jews and you have your Haredi Jews, different kinds of Jews, which is, again, all the way from the Orthodox Jews. Ultimately, they want to instill the clergy plan, a lot of them. Okay, you have rabbis all over the place. Jonathan Pollard selling our nuclear secrets to our enemies. You have Netanyahu and Ben Gvir basically stating that we're not going to listen to the United States. We're not going to work with the United States, and we're just going to do what we want and without any authority from anybody. And so really, again, and that goes as to what we're seeing in Gaza, Lebanon, southern Lebanon today. The very real genocide that is being done, that is happening. Everything that the Jews complained about in the Holocaust and saying that, you know, with the Nazis, well, honest to God, not just me saying this, I am just saying this from an analytical perspective. What we are seeing is we are seeing a real movement of this, what appears to be some form of Nazism. We do seem to see, like, again, everything that they said the Nazis were doing, the Jews are doing today to Gaza. That is happening. That is not to be debated. That is a fact. That is a statement of fact. Okay, you have children in Gaza who are being completely bombed alive, shot and shot in the head, like literally raped, horrible things happening. And then when you try to address this in the UN councils, and if you want to, again, all of these are international crimes that are on the record of the United Nations websites. You can look all of this up. You know, you have the Bolshevik Revolution, and again, what happened a long time ago, but it's like you have this is the same group of people overall. Not all Jews, not all Israelis, and we condemn any kind of anti-Semitism or violence, but what is happening to be a fact, our entire government is being taken over by these Israelis. And if you disagree, then look at HR 8800. Okay, section 222 to 224, and then section 618. Okay, this is of the National Defense Authorization Act of the fiscal year 2027. This is all fact. Okay, so this is not my opinion. This is what military analysts all over, men who have like decades and decades of military experience, and they're saying the same thing that I'm saying. I'm only going by observations. I'm going by the real confessions of, again, the people like Jonathan Greenblatt, Mark Levin, okay, Randy Fine, okay, and you have, again, the members of Chabad Lubavitch and these different sets of Judaism. I'm not against Jews. What I am against is the behavior of the Jews today, and not all Jews, but really I would say more so the Israelis, the Zionist regime, the Zionist sect of Judaism, which is, I think, separate from what you would find in your average Jew today. So it's important to note that everything Ryan Matta is saying here is true. Our government is being taken over by these Israelis who are, in fact, trying to institute the Kalergi plan, the Great Replacement, and they want our countries to be taken over by third world immigrants, these illegal migrants, and they want to change the country of which we live in into something else that your ancestors did not have to live through, and something your ancestors were well keen to and aware of. And so it's rather important that, you know, we're speaking out against this. Let's move on with this video.
You live in a country, let's just say you lived in, I don't know, let's just say you lived in Somali. You're a Somalian. So let's just say you lived in Kuwait, okay? Then let's say you moved from Kuwait to Somalia. What do you think happens to a man's mental psyche when he lives in a country, his businesses are thriving, and for no reason whatsoever, the Jews, specifically the Jewish state of Israel, unleashes an all-out terrorist attack over unprovoked means? You know that your government wasn't involved in doing anything terroristic. You know that your government was completely owned and controlled by Israel and did what Israel told them when Israel told them to do it. You know that your government worked on behalf of the United States government and did what they told them when they told them to do it. And this is what led to the instability in your country. This is what led to the regime change. This is what led to Israel blowing up villages, dropping bombs on innocent women and children, and basically creating an all-out revolution that ends up destroying an entire nation. Then you get driven out of your nation because Israel's blown up everybody, so you have no choice but to leave. Then you make it to the next country and you start over.
Right.
You're finally getting back on your feet. It's a little bit more dangerous in this country, but you got it figured out. You know, you're learning a new language. You got it all figured out. And then in comes Israel again and blows shit up and does it all over again.
This is happening, though.
Then you end up in some shithole called the UK. And
These are all statements of fact.
Western cement jungle. And you're going, what in the actual fuck am I doing here? Oh, but I don't have to follow the law here. Yeah, I'm going to take out my aggression on all these Westerners, considering, well, you know, I blame them for doing this.
This is very well said, really. This is what's happening.
And we wonder why there's so many heathens in the world. Well, it's because Israel exists, period. The world would be, like, we would be on our way toward world peace. Every global instability has been created by our war machine and our military-industrial complex. These psychopaths in our fucking government have some type of bloodlust, and they can't refrain from killing innocent women and children. Think about that. Every bomb that gets made and created, like, I see the purpose of having them 100%, right? You need to be able to defend yourself. Right. But you can do that with some drones. Iran just changed the entire gosh damn game. Some ballistic missiles and some drones. They saved the nation. Because Israel was planning to bomb its way through Iran just like they were Gaza. Even the president of Iran said this yesterday.
Absolutely, this has
if
already been said.
If it wasn't for our ballistic missiles and our drones, Israel would have did to us what they did to Gaza. And God bless our military for it, you know? God bless, I mean, that's what Iran's saying about their military. God bless the Iranian military. Gosh damn, but they are fucking champions. They did such a fantastic job, a professional job. They only took out strategic targets. They destroyed our military bases. They got what they wanted. They got $300 billion from the Trump administration. And Saudi Arabia, I guess, has stepped up and agreed to pay Trump this money, no matter what. No matter what happens. And this is what's leading to this Muslim alliance that they're putting together. Because they all fucking realize that Israel is not their friend. Israel is not their ally. Israel will not allow them to coexist peacefully.
And they say this every day.
And the more nations that wake up with their heads out of their
every
ass,
day.
look at fucking Egypt. Oh boy, Egypt, Turkey, come on, baby. Somebody needs to take them off the map for us. God bless you guys. We out this one.
So again,
Peace.
take them off the map. We don't need that kind of rhetoric. But at the end of the day, most of what he said is correct. You know, we are facing a real existential crisis when it comes to all of this. Okay, so this is a real problem in our country. We're definitely dealing with an occupation of the Israelis trying to take over. Again, this all goes back to HR 8800, the National Defense Authorization Act of fiscal year 2027, subsection 222 to 224 and 618. All of these are specifically exactly it is proof that the Israeli government is trying to fuse and integrate basically their military with our military, not so we can work together and be partners, but so they can basically control all of our intelligence, our information, our weaponry, all of our military strategies, all of our classified information, all of our, again, all of our future innovations, everything that we're doing, okay? Infrastructure, all of it. And they want to basically control it. And that is the point. And so to disagree with that, you're not paying attention.
A Germanic man
so again,
recommend other asylum seekers or refugees to come here to Ireland.
Based upon what is happening recently,
this is Tyler Oliveira. We'll listen to this little clip too.
You're not welcome. I won't say come. You're not welcome.
No, but
get a job while you were here?
No, I have not qualified because I didn't.
Free phones, free cars, free everything. They don't pay for everything they get is free.
What did you get for free?
Well, that's interesting. I think they are ignorant of the situation. Now, since I came on here, I'm homeless.
Okay.
So I think they don't know.
Oh, so you never get a free phone?
I don't have. I'm homeless.
Did you get a free phone?
We're in there. You get nothing. Charity shop. They go to the charity, but it's his.
Go to charity shop. Tax if it is free.
Okay, so you're saying not true. They're saying you get free stuff.
No, man.
How do you survive if you don't have a job?
Well, interestingly, I'm receiving a weekly.
We get weekly payments.
Yes, from
the government pays for everything for them. Everything.
Do they give you weekly payments?
No.
What are your thoughts on that? He says they don't get anything, but you get weekly payments. Is that fair?
That's funded by the European Union. That is a migration.
That's a really important statement. So basically, this man just admitted that the European Union is basically paying for his stay, and I don't know where this is at again, Belgium or something. Sounds like, what is this, Belgium? I don't really know exactly where this is from. Ireland. So this is in Ireland, apparently, this entire clip, I believe. So again, here's one more clip.
This is Ireland, where migrants fresh off the boat live like royalty.
So again, this is what we're going to cover tomorrow. I'm going to watch a little bit of this episode for tomorrow's stream, or actually I won't be able to stream tomorrow. So we'll be watching this Friday, and we'll be covering Tyler Oliveira's coverage of everything that's going on in Ireland today.
By the taxpayers, while the local Irish can barely afford to pay rent.
One of my neighbours was sent out of his house, and you know, was put in his house, and he was sent down to the social housing, an Arab or something like that.
Who are getting homes upon arrival?
But like, do you want me to be honest and say foreigners? I don't know where they're from, they're just black.
With over 23% of Ireland's population foreign-born, driving the already unaffordable housing costs even higher.
It's happening everywhere. So again, here's Brendan Ecker being vindicated for all of the platforms that are trying to silence me because I'm telling the truth about this. These are statements of fact for national security for all of these independent natives of these countries, of Ireland, of, again, Germany, of the United States, again, of Spain. This is happening everywhere. America and Europe are being targeted by third world immigrants, and this is not an insult. This is a statement of fact. They are coming from these countries, and now the people of Ireland and the people of America, the people of Scotland, the people of the UK, the people of Germany, the people of Australia, all of these different places, and Canada, by the way, all being affected by this very issue right here.
Homelessness also hits record highs. How did this tiny 5.4 million person island become a hotspot for migrants and asylum seekers looking for handouts? How much charity does Ireland have left to give?
So again, we're going to cover that episode on Friday. When I come back and return, I won't be able to stream tomorrow, but we're going to cover all of this Tyler Oliveira episode on Friday, and we're going to really, again, investigate Ireland. So we investigated New York City here on U.S. soil in the United States. Now we're going to investigate what's happening in Ireland. And again, so we watched Nick Shirley and reacted to Nick Shirley's expose of New York City. Now we're going to give Tyler Oliveira the credit he deserves, and we're going to make sure that we react to what's going on in Ireland. And we're going to watch this entire episode, everything that's happening. All of this I'm going to cover it Friday. So be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. What do you think about all of this? Again, I know this episode may have come off a little bit offensive to some, but what I'm trying to outline here is the very real pandemic of illegal immigration and the fraud that is taking place. Corruption also. Okay, your politicians are not serving you. You who are watching this, who might be offended by everything I've said in this live stream, are being basically the first target. You are paying your American tax dollars to fund all of this illegal immigration, fraud, again, stolen items probably being sold on the streets of New York City. You're paying for that. And unwillingly, willingly, maybe, who knows? But the point is, it's illegal and it's un-American and it's just not right. Period. Plain and simple. And some people might be too afraid to talk about that issue or to say what is true about that issue. But the fact of the matter is we are absolutely being conquered. Again, America and Europe. And so at some point there needs to be common sense. There needs to be people who are willing to tell the truth about these issues and who are willing to, say what is true about all of this. Because the fact of the matter is we are losing the safety and sanctity of our homelands. And at the same time, we also have to pay attention to, how these wars are affecting everything, right? This all comes from not just politicians and corruption and Zionism, but it also comes from this Iran war, right, that we were dragged into as Americans. And now we're paying for that on top of these illegal immigrants that are coming into our country. We're being hit from all sides. And so from a national security perspective, this needs to be combated. This needs to be fought. It needs to be spoken out against, because anybody who doesn't is the enemy here. Again, they are enemies of your future children. They are enemies of your children who might exist today already, and your grandparents, even your family, especially the boomers. They're totally not aware to any of this. They would call me a racist for anything I've said. But my point is, this is all real, and we are losing our country. We are being conquered by, again, these masses of immigrants who are from these war zones because of the Israelis, and then because of the U.S. government funding these wars. And at the same time, when I say the U.S. government, our tax dollars. And if you don't pay your taxes, you go to prison. So it's like, what is the real solution? How do we even really get out of this? Is there really a way? Or is it just like we just back down? You don't want to be called a racist, so you don't say anything about it. But the fact of the matter is, if we don't protect our homeland and our sovereignty, our independence, what our founding fathers fought for, what is common sense, what is just, then we will lose all of that, and we will become a third world country. And that was the point of this episode. And again, also to cover the Iran war, what's happening in Israel, how they're moving on to that southern front of Lebanon, Nabatea, Tyre, and then Odessa, everywhere, and then also Beirut. Then we also have the Russia-Ukraine war. I didn't really cover that a lot today. But we also have all of these other things going on, right? We have the IAEA, again, the International Atomic Energy Association, and they are basically now confirming that there is going to be inspections. So again, this MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding, this is being progressed, and we want it to progress. We want this Iran war to end. We want the Iranians to have their sovereignty actually, and because that would allow us to have our sovereignty as Americans. And also, at the same time, we could pay for poverty. We could pay for all the things that are actually happening to our country. So you know what? I want to play one more video before I close out this episode, because it's kind of rather important, right? So I'm going to go to the shorts here, and we got to go to our older videos. But it was one of my best YouTube shorts, but we're going to play this again. Filter. Again, I just want to show you just really how important it is that we actually defend our homeland. So let me find this YouTube short real quick, and then I'm going to close out this stream. So again, this covers some, where is it? Where is it? One second. This is basically covering what's really going on when it comes to how our country is basically paying for wars that we don't need to be in. And it's a video of these Vietnam veterans basically talking about the war and how we shouldn't be paying for it, and how it's really only benefiting the wrong people, right? The politicians and those people. So again, where is it? I wish I could find this. I'm having trouble finding it. I'm gonna find it though. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? But again, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe as I'm looking for this. I think it's rather important though that I play this so you understand kind of where we're at in this country today and what's really going on, because they don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to see what's actually happening when it comes as the result of these, unnecessary wars that are really, really costing you, the American taxpayer, and how much of a problem this actually is for our sovereignty as a country. This is what's important, is to protect what our founding fathers fought for and what they died for, all of it. Because what's being done today is just totally unjust. It's not right. It's corrupt. And it's, there's really just no excuse for it. Come on, where is this? Man, I posted a lot of shorts. I think we're getting close to it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Found it. So again, we're going to end the video with this YouTube short because this is ultimately what's going on today. And same thing. This is in the 1970s. Right. Iran war today. Listen to this story right here.
We have.
Sorry.
We'd be better off because we can spend our money on poverty. We can clean up the city.
I got hit in the head.
So this was the video I was trying to show. I'm play it one more time.
Wounded. Like my whole platoon was
have a huge
completely
audience
wiped out
watching
except for
anyways.
about 3 or 4 guys, And it's like, it's really strange. I went down to Indiana for my buddy's funeral, because he was a real good friend of mine. And it's really to see it, what the people really go through, when their son gets killed, especially a favorite son. Like he was the only son in the family.
It's not like a war where, World War II, where we won and that was it and it's all over. Now, how do you think we're ever going to disinvolve ourselves from Vietnam? Yeah, but you can't win a war like that.
Yeah, this is the Iran war today.
We are. That's right. For what? That's right. For what? For what? Yeah, for what? For what?
You were there for, you got wounded 3 times, twice or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, well I got hit by a piece of General Motors shrapnel, from an 81 mortar. They dug it out of my leg and it said GM and it had the numbers on it and everything, So
insane.
General Motors is making mortars, man.
Same thing's happening today.
What else can I tell you? They're making money, that's what it's all about. Like they're supposed to be making cars. I'm saying if our government didn't spend so much money on other nations, giving them aid, giving them everything we have, we'd be better off because we could spend our money on poverty. We could clean up the city.
Seriously, that's really what we're dealing with today. So when you look at all of that, again, sorry, I totally forgot I wasn't sharing the other side of the screen there. Looked like a goofball, but ultimately this is what's happening, and hopefully you are understanding what I'm talking about here. But be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on Friday.